And because of that, we're letting her perform 2 numbers tonight. Do you want to know what she wanted to be when she grew up?
I can hardly wait. Tell me, oh investigative guru.
Well, Suzanne Zak, before she dreamed of becoming Dr. Susie, actually wanted to be a circus lion tamer. To prepare, she actually built a small cage in her backyard and trained her pet cats. Now, I've been told that she's been asked if conducting tenors is like a circus. And her reply is, no, it's more like a zoo, because in a circus, the animals can be trained.
Unbelievable. Really, I don't believe a word of it. Anyway, here performing Hungarian Rhapsody number 11 in A minor is Dr. Susie herself, Suzanne Zak.
Good evening. Thank you so much all for being here. We really appreciate Jack and John for putting the show on. I also want to say a big thank you to Dorothy Smith for helping out with all the baked goods and for everyone else in the choir who's participated. Before I play this piece for you, this Hungarian Rhapsody, you're going to think to yourself, this music sounds a little familiar, but how would I know this music? Because I don't listen to classical music. Well, you actually would have heard it in one of the Tom and Jerry cartoons. You hear a different Hungarian Rhapsody, but it's the same type of music. Franz Liszt was a composer in the 1800s, and he actually was one of the prominent composers for piano music. In fact, he himself had studied with very notable pianists himself, and one of the things that he really pioneered was piano technique. In fact, when he started playing the piano did not have its cast iron frame that it does now, and he had this trick that he learned from Paganini, the great violinist. The great violinist Paganini, who many of you may or may not know, was actually thrown in jail for gambling debts, and while he was in jail, he fashioned a violin out of a piece of wood and some strings and would just practice and practice and practice. He practiced so much, and his time in jail served him well, because when he came out, he looked very gaunt and sick, but he had the technique of an amazing player, and he had this trick that he would do all the time. He'd be playing his violin, and he knew exactly when a violin string would break, and he would be playing furiously along and then break the string, and then be able to take everything that he was playing, if you're a string player, up to the next fret to keep going, and that really wowed the audience. Well, Franz Liszt came up with the idea, can we do that with the piano? And before the piano had its cast iron frame, it was wooden. And Liszt, who had an amazing technique, he was known to practice 6 hours, technique work only, scales and thirds and sixths. It was incredible. He actually, in one of his concerts, broke the piano. So I don't know if that was truly he broke the piano or he set it up to break, but again, he had an amazing technique. He was the pianist and composer that really was responsible for turning the piano on its side so everyone could hear it. And he was also the one that we can thank for playing from memory. So here is Hungarian Rhapsody number 11 in A minor by Franz Liszt.